Hello friends, today we are going to discuss the history of India as I have understood it. In first part I will discuss how India came into existence, and when I say India throughout this video, when I will say India, please understand I'm talking about Pakistan, today's India, today's Bangladesh, Assam and parts of Afghanistan. So when I'm talking about India, I'm talking about this entire Indian continent. And then second part will be what my solution is, what I think we all should do. Of course, you can disagree with me on that, it's fine. Right, so let's begin. So some 50 million years ago, a small fraction of the African continent, it collided with the Eurasian continent. That's how we now have this Indian subcontinent. That's why we have three gargantuan mountain ranges: Himalayan, Karakoram, and Hindu Kush. They're also called the folded mountains because of the sheer pressure between the two huge land masses. So when those two land masses collided, because of that pressure, these mountain ranges came into existence. Right. So initially, the inhabitants of this land were dark-skinned people with slightly blunt features. They were called Dravidian people. Today, you can find them living on the south of India. And you can also tell that they are related to the African people by looking at them, because they have very similar features to people living on the African continent. Then somewhere around 1500 BCE, so when I say BCE, I mean before the Common Era. So somewhere around 1500 BCE came the Aryans. Those Aryans, when they came in, they came from the Persian side, they came from the European side. People have different theories about them, but the Aryans, when they came into onto the Indian subcontinent, they started marrying the locals, and that's how the northern Indians came into existence. Aryans were fair-skinned people, colored eyes, and they had sharper features. Finally, we all started to live and thrive on the Indian subcontinent. Time moved on. Everybody was divided in smaller tribes, smaller factions, until the Mauryan Empire, which existed around 300 BCE, so BCE before the Common Era. The Mauryan Empire was led by Ashoka the Great. So Ashoka the Great was the first revolutionary and the most successful person in the history of India, who brought this entire Bharat, which includes Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, Assam. He was the first one to bring all of them under one banner. This happened during the Ashokan Empire, or the Mauryan Empire, in around 300 BCE. After the Battle of Kalinga, this was a battle fought by Ashoka. In this battle, hundreds and thousands of people, they lost their lives. As a result, Ashoka realized that he has done something very hideous. He felt a sheer amount of guilt deep within, and he adopted Buddhism. So Buddha basically means somebody who has a higher intelligence level. So I'll give you an example. Buddh means intellect. Buddhu means somebody who's slightly less intelligent than you. Buddha means somebody who's more intelligent than you. So Buddha, his original name was Siddhartha Gautam. His parents were also the followers of Sanatan Dharm. When Ashoka adopted Buddhism, it was then adopted by the masses in India, so on and so forth. I want you guys to understand that Sanatan Dharm is the actual original religion of this land. It's a very old religion. No one exactly knows. No one knows who brought this religion into this world, how it actually came into existence. No one can tell you that for sure. But through the archaeological evidence, we can say that it has been here existing for the last 10,000 years or so. This Sanatan Dharm has that caste system where you have Brahmins, you have Kshatriyas, you have, I think, Shudras, and so on and so forth. But also, the original Sanatan Dharm teaches you that the entire universe was created by one deity, one god. They call him Brahman. So Brahman then evolved into three other divine beings: Vishnu, Brahma, and Shiva, so on and so forth. It's a long story. Someday when we discuss religion, I'll tell you guys about it as well. So anyway, Ashoka was born in Sanatan Dharm. So when we say Hinduism, Hinduism is actually not the real name of that religion. The real name is Sanatan Dharm. Hinduism does not exist in the Vedic text, the holy text of Hindus or the Sanatanis. Ashoka, when he felt this deep regret, he then adopted Buddhism. Then later on, many people from outside the Indian subcontinent started invading India. People like the Tughlaqs, people like the Mongols, people. It's a list of people who came from outside the neighboring countries and they came into India. They stole from our treasuries. They raped our women. They took them as war captives, and they also killed massive amount of people. Countless people died because of these invasions. They also killed and kidnapped kids. Some died, some were kidnapped, taken as war captive slaves. Unfortunately, the thing is, we now portray those goons, those thieves, those rapists as heroes. It's like somebody coming to your house, taking all your possessions, and then your grandchildren telling their children that, 2, 3 generations ago, somebody came to our house that he took all the things, all our possessions, all our wealth, all our treasuries, and but he was a good guy. He was hero. I mean, if that floats your boat, then why not? If that makes you happy, okay. But anyway, honestly speaking, I think the Indian history is extremely rich. We have a very colorful history. We have some of the most magnificent architectural history, and I'm talking about pre-Mughal era, like 5,000 years ago. If you ever get a chance to visit India, which is obviously I'm talking about Pakistan, India, Bangladesh. When I say India, I'm talking about all these 3, 4 different countries. If you ever get a chance to go across these countries, you will be mesmerized to know and see the things that we actually had before these invaders came into our land. So I came across a video a few years ago on YouTube where an archaeologist was showing a temple which was carved out of a rock mountain. So usually people, they build, if they have to build something, a building, a temple, a mosque, whatever, they start from the foundation and then they go towards the top. But this temple was built in the opposite way. They started carving out the mountain from the top and then they went towards the foundation. It's honestly, it's a magnificent piece of engineering, and this is like 3, 4 thousand years ago. Absolutely, I have no idea how they managed to do it, but it's remarkable. And I also believe that if we only look at the facts and figures, right now the oldest religion on earth is Sanatan Dharm. Of course, everybody has different claims, but this is coming from a scientific perspective, the archaeological data that we have today. Sanatan Dharm, it's never Hinduism. I'll give you an example to make things easy for you guys. I was born in a Muslim family, hence my religion is Islam. If I was born in France in a Muslim family, I would have been a French Muslim. If I was born in America, I would have been an American Muslim. But because I was born in the Indus Valley Civilization, I hence I am called a Hindu Muslim. Hindu basically denotes your geographical location. It does not mean people following one particular religion. Hindu are the people living next to Sindhu. Sindhu comes from the word Sindh, river Sindh, or in English it's called the river Indus. So when I call anyone a Hindu, I generally mean the person who is living in or near the Indus Valley Civilization. We have a very long history. Indus Valley Civilization thrived some 3,000 years, 4,000, some say even 5,000 years ago. Then we have Gandhara, then we have the Takshila. So we have this very long, very rich history. I honestly insist you people should read, go through, study material, educate yourself, and finally you will realize that we should be proud of our history. The problem is many people nowadays, they want to associate themselves with Arabs, they want to associate themselves with Uzbeks, Turks, and the neighboring countries. Why not associate yourselves with your actual ancestors? What's wrong with that? See, even before Islam came into existence, the Arab people were idol worshippers. They were all pagans, Bedouins, Arab Bedouins. So I don't understand why should I associate myself with another idol worshipper or Bedouin when I can easily, stick to my own roots? There's nothing wrong with that. One is religion, the other is region. My religion is one thing, my regional identity is something else. I don't want to change that. I'm very happy with my regional identity. Anyway, in the following videos, if I get uh, a good response on this one and I get plenty of questions, I will make another video where I will discuss the history of India in much more detail. Now I'm jumping to the second part of this video where I'm going to be discussing how we have so many Sayyids in this region. Look, today if you juxtapose the population of Indian subcontinent and the Saudi Arabia, that's where Islam actually came from, you will find more Sayyids in this land than in Saudi Arabia. It's actually something very amusing. And I understand why. See, when people convert to a different religion, the reasons are many. It could have been that people who converted to Islam in India, they were from the underprivileged people, poor people. They probably were promised better life after entering into Islam. And this is something ubiquitous. You will find this happening with every region, every religion. This is how people converted. The underprivileged people, the poor people, poverty-stricken people, they used to convert to different religions, leaving their native ones to find a better life. So, in my opinion, if all the Sayyids living in the Indian subcontinent, they take a DNA test, you will be surprised to know that many of them are actually Indians. So when people converted to Islam, they added Sayyid as a surname to get rid of the caste system which was identified with them previously. I'm not saying everyone is local. I'm not saying everyone is an Indian convert. Probably some actually are the descendants of the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, and his household. But not everyone is. This is something false, and if you take a DNA test, you will be surprised to know how many of us are actual Sayyids. I am a Rajput. I hail from Rajasthan. That's the province Rajputs come from mainly. I'm a Bhatti Rajput, and I am absolutely proud of my history. Rajasthan is a province in India. So if anything has Sthan in the end of it attached to its name, it means the land of. It's a Persian way of saying the land of. So for instance, Pakistan means the land of pure. Rajasthan, the land of Rajas. Raja is an umbrella term. It means the rulers, royals, kings, princes, etc. So anywhere, if you find stan to it, it means the land of. It's very similar to the Greek way of saying the same thing. In Greek, they used to add ia at the end. For instance, if you see Malaysia, it has ia. India, it has ia. That ia means the land of. Saudi, the land of Saud. So that's it. Now, what I think the solution is to please do not feel intimidated by your origins, do not feel embarrassed. Take pride from your history. Like I said, if you go through study materials, if you educate yourself, you will realize that we have a very, very rich history. In fact, Indian continent used to produce 30% of the global GDP before the advent of the British people into this continent, and 35% was produced by China. So these two countries, I wouldn't say countries, empires or people, they used to produce over 60% of the global GDP. That's a massive chunk of GDP, global GDP I'm talking about. So we should be proud of the things that we have. We have some of the best, finest architectural history, architectural engineering in the past. We've had some of the most intellectually enlightened beings in the past. I think the way to move forward is to have friendly ties with our neighboring countries, especially India, Bangladesh. Look, we're all same people, same origins. I think my solution is, this is something I honestly believe, that the only way forward for our countries is to shake hands with each other, to have friendly ties. We need to amend our relationship with India, especially because India now has 1.4 billion people living in that country. We have around 250 million people living in this country. Bangladesh also has somewhere around 200 million people living. That's a massive chunk of global population. If we only work on these three countries and fix our own ties, I think we can have a very thriving lives here. And why not? I mean, why should I identify myself as an Arab or somebody else coming from outside? I'm very happy being who I am. I am proud of my Indian origins, and I'm proud of my culture, my native people. If I get a chance someday, I would love to go to today's India, discover historical places. I'd love to go to Rajasthan. All I'm saying is this is what I honestly believe in. And look, when I say I'm a Muslim, I'm a Hindu Muslim. Why? Because Hindu means people of the Indus Valley Civilization. And since River Indus is currently in Pakistan, India does not even have that Indus. The major chunk of River Indus is in Pakistan, technically, which makes us the Hindus, not Indians. So Hindu is it's a name, it's a term coined by the Persians, which only means that people living next to Sindhu. So we are the ones living next to Sindhu. I am a Hindu Muslim. My viewers, some of you might be Hindu Christian, some of you might be Hindu atheist. I mean, whatever makes you happy. All I'm saying is please feel proud of your history. Do not create further tensions, further problems between the local people. Religion is a very personal matter. I myself, I can only speak for myself. I do not judge people based on what they believe in. If somebody wants to follow Hinduism or Sanatan Dharm, the actual name is Sanatan Dharm. If somebody wants to follow that religion, it's his choice. It's not my place to speak. If somebody wants to convert to Christianity, somebody wants to follow Christ, it's his choice. Similarly, if I'm a Muslim, that's because I was born in a Muslim family. It's not because I chose Islam. Islam chose me. So I don't judge people based on their belief. That's not how I work. This was our today's video. I hope you guys find it enlightening, and I hope I've added a few things new in your life in terms of information. If you guys feel that somehow I have offended you, my apologies. And please do let me know what you think of this video. If I get a good response, I will make a second video where I'll be discussing the history of India in more detail. Also, please leave comments, fill the comment section, throw comments at me. I'll go through all of them individually, and then in the next videos I will respond to the comments, the rational comments. But please, like I said in the introductory video, stick to being respectful. We'll maintain a good decorum. We'll stay respectful towards each other. I will respect you people, and I expect you guys to also respect my ideologies, my beliefs, and my research. Thank you very much. I hope you guys have a lovely day.